Welcome to the Sold Too Early Sports Card Podcast, where we're pro global warming. That's Kai. I'm building a boat like Noah. Firstly, Kai, how the hell are you doing? And secondly, I finally know what it feels like to be in Florida because it rained all day today to the point where I thought I would need to buy a boat.
Yeah, the last 2 or 3 days it's been raining here all day, every day. And then today it's beautiful out. It's starting to get cold up here. I think it's gonna be like 35 tonight.
Oh my god,
So
wait, what?
yeah,
Did we switch spots? Because it's
I
been
know.
like it was like 60 today here in New Jersey. And it rained all damn day. Somehow did not lose power, but now just knowing my luck, randomly when it's sunny out, it's gonna just
You jinxed it for sure.
Oh, I know, man. But yeah, a little bit of a different episode today. Obviously, we are approaching the Christmas holiday if you celebrate that. I think Hanukkah has been going on for a bit, or it might have just ended. I'm not Jewish. I
There
have
goes my
no
joke I was gonna make.
yeah, not Jewish. What is super funny though is that everyone believes I am because I have a very Jewish name. But no, my mom was born in Sicily. I'm gonna be an Italian citizen somewhat soon, just in case, just stupid shit happens. I'll just run to Italy and, draft dodge and do all the cool things that people do. But yeah, no, I'm not Jewish, but just have a very Jewish name. Yeah,
Dang.
Congrats. Missed opportunity there. I'll
Uh,
settle for the Italian citizenship. But yeah, listen, I mean, this is a weird time in sports cards. I think we keep on harping on that. Really, it's more just like setting yourself up for future successes. And one way of setting yourself up for future successes is listening to everything I say and do. Of course, I'm obviously kidding, of course, but we had a comment come in. Not a comment.
a
I think it's
review.
yeah, this is a review. So for anyone who listens or watches consistently, I think we take ourselves somewhat seriously, not the most. And I get notes on like comments and feedback and stuff like that pretty often, which is good. I take a lot of it to heart, which is nice. I think we offended someone because we had this review come in, looks like a week and a half ago on Apple. It was clearly some burner. I think it was probably someone we bothered and annoyed who like could not put their name to what they were saying because, and I quote, this is their note. I listen because the host and his takes are comical. You're right. That's a good start. So thank you for listening that far. Made money during boom and talks like an authority. Everyone made money during the sports card boom. Kai, do you remember getting cards and buying them? And by the time you
Yeah.
had them,
It was near you during that time, I think it was genuinely impossible to lose money.
especially with no sports going on,
Yeah.
I legitimately do not know of a player in 2020, like at the start and like in the beginning of COVID, where their prices went down because everyone
Rudy
was
Gobert.
Yeah,
Just
you know what?
kidding.
That's a good joke. Good joke, Kai. It took me a second to think about that. Now, obviously, the second that COVID happened, for anyone who was not in sports cards in the beginning of 2020, so February, March, April, whatever, everything dropped like 40% because people just panicked for obvious reasons at the start of the pandemic. But then as the spring and the summer kind of turned up and came around, and sports were beginning to either start back up or were about to engage like back in either the bubble for the NBA or the 60 game season for the MLB, a lot of hype started to build to the point where it genuinely was impossible to lose money on cards for like a good 3 to 6 months there. If you bought anything, especially when prices initially tanked due to the pandemic, you crushed it. It was really, really hard to lose money.
You would buy something and you'd get it in the mail and you make 25%.
It was so cool. Like I would kill for that opportunity again with the knowledge I have now. I mean, obviously that's a really fucked up statement to say, and I also got told to curse a little bit less. I apologize. I'll work on that a little bit.
By who?
Another comment. To be fair, that's right. For me, it's more just like instead of using the word or like or but, I like that's just how I like catch myself. But I'll be better at that. No, but it was really, really hard to lose money on sports cards. And if you did, you probably should move into a new career if you haven't already. So that was interesting. The comment goes on to say, bashing everything and anyone, all while trying to sound cool. There's a fair point there. Definitely bash things. I think we both are pretty critical of this hobby and industry because we want to be and we have the ability to. I think there's a lot of issues within sports cards. Um, I think not calling them out is a problem. If you just allow mediocrity to grow and fester, you are accepting that that is what you deserve. And frankly, I think we as an industry deserve better than a lot of the things we get. And I think there's part of that is content creators and influencers who try to trick and deceive their audiences. I think it goes to the grading companies. I think it goes to the auction houses who win no matter what at the end of the day. Because part of the reason why sports cards continue to trend downward in price, and this is a seasonal thing, of course, but another reason why is so many auctions and continuous flow of even low end, like $100 to $500 cards being available, up to the cards that were hobby grails and these goats and these amazing cards you'll never see. Dude, Kai, how many auctions do you check on a week-to-week basis?
At this point, like couple, but there's just so much going on. I mean, it's almost, I don't want to say it's impossible to check everything, but it's getting to the point where there's so much stuff ending every day, every week. It's like, I can't look at all this, even if I wanted to.
And even if you wanted to, could you afford to buy everything you wanted?
No, that's kind of the weird part too. It's like these places are consistently filling these auctions. Like people have to be just shuffling out inventory, like just liquidating everything at this point.
Now, I definitely am liquidating a good amount of my stuff, both NPB wise and other like cards I have in general, because with Dallas now a month away, like literally from the date of recording, today we're recording on Monday, December 18th. Just because our Tuesday schedule does not work out, Kai is traveling for the holidays, like that's obviously much more important. But we're about a month away from the first major show of the new year. I expect Dallas to be pretty good. In my opinion, I'd rather now start to sell off either the low to mid end, take my losses there, write it off of my taxes, and kind of get ready for the new year with either more cash or like a refreshed inventory. I only have 2 showcases for the Dallas show coming up. I sold one to a friend, so in my mind, I'm like, all right, cool. How can I make myself have the best quantity and quality available? Because I have less space than usual. So let me heighten like the average card that I'm going to have in my showcase. Especially with it being a show that I have to travel to, I'm going to spend $1,500 ish to set up, get there, be comfortable, be there for a few days. Like it's gotta make sense, and I can see why someone like myself, who is a dealer, who might have a little bit of still inventory, or just continues to like trade up and down and make moves happen, like would want to liquidate. But you gotta remember too, like most of the stuff I have right now in stock is under $1,000 because that's just what's moving. But when you have these insane auctions running every single week, dude, you're just like you're really just kicking the industry when it's down because these prices will continue to drop because maybe someone doesn't want to spend 25, 30, 40K right now on their hobby grill because, oh my God, it's Christmas time. And they have other priorities besides a piece of plastic or a piece of cardboard or whatever else it might be.
Well, it's actually kind of interesting too if you think about it. Like we're in a time where there's nothing you can really, I don't know if invest is the right word, but there's no player or team or anything that really seems like that appealing. That's like, oh, this could be a really good call right now. Like, let me put 20K into Giannis. Like, the Bucks are good. I don't think anyone thinks it's a great play. I mean, you could go Juan Soto with the Yankees. I mean, he's probably going to leave after a year, though.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just don't think there's any like thing that people are like infatuated with trying to like predict right now. You know what I mean? Like there's no league or team or player that really stands out.
Really, the move right now is one of 2 things. It's either Bowman because Bowman Chrome just released for 2023.
Well, even Bowman though, it has that dip after a month or two. Like I think people are starting to smarten up and realize that.
which is good. I want a smarter
Yeah.
hobby and industry, but I was not even going to say 2023 product. I was more talking about like prospects from 2020,
Yeah.
2021, 2022 who are now in double A or triple A or right on the cusp of being an MLB player. Because the trick, obviously, and this is a general statement, give or take, so take it with a grain of salt. I could be wrong on certain instances. The trick to making money is being one step early when you sell, not one step late. What's funny, ironically, is I was on the Cousins Collectibles podcast yesterday. We recorded it launched today, this morning, which was great, and I made the same point of if you want to win and you want to be in this industry a long time and be successful, not just have like your one quick flip and then lose money because you were dumb. You want to let people believe they're going to win on their item that you're selling them. And for Bowman Chrome, especially, like the trick always is the second they get called up, sell. Like just always sell. Because it doesn't matter how good that player is, unfortunately. Eventually their price dips and it's affordable again. Either when it goes to collectors' hands or they're bad, and like obviously they could be a bust because guess what? MLB and baseball in general is really goddamn hard. And these prospects are not a sure thing. And you know what? If you are someone who's buying high-end Bowman Chrome autos, you got to be careful because they will dip. And if you are a believer in that player and you truly are, awesome. Sell when they make their debut and buy back in a couple of years. And if they're still pretty good, guess what? They're still going to be cheaper than compared to when you sold it when they were a shot prospect.
Yeah, it's the funny part. Even if they pan out and are, I mean, you could even say an all-star, like their cards are going to be cheaper than when they first get called up for the most part. I think you look at like, I could be totally wrong here, but because I know Acuna just won MVP, but I feel like in his first season, maybe his second season, his cards might have been more than they are now.
I think it's tricky with like players like Acuna, Tatis, Soto, because their peaks, their hype cycles sort of aligned with that COVID timing,
Yeah.
if not directly, then like around the same time when the industry is more trending upward. So are they are they the main factor? Was that timing the main factor, or was it just they were these incredible players? I can tell you for a fact that I know of a gold Juan Soto Bowman Chrome auto that was a six-figure card that I could have bought for 15 to 20K multiple times, and I've turned it down. And I love Juan Soto. I'm a Yankee fan, obviously, if you could not tell. Ironically enough, I have a Padres jersey behind me too. I love Juan Soto. I hope they sign him long term. But that's exactly it. Like the fact that it's even in my budget is kind of crazy. And I'm not fucking
Rich.
Yeah, I'm not hashtag rich. I'm not, rolling out with 17 Rolexes. Although I did have a fake one that I wore for a show or two because I thought it was funny. And then it broke because I paid $20 for it. So oops. Yeah, Kai, I don't care. Like that's the trick. It's just so dumb. But baseball, Bowman Chrome in general is obviously a move. It's a play. I think there's opportunity there if you're really looking forward to it and like can be a little bit patient, because you would have to probably wait until February or March to sell. I moved some Bowman Chrome that I had of like American hitters because I just wanted the cash now and I take my profits and move on. Ironically enough, the MPB stuff is nuclear hot right now. I have a personal sub coming back this week. It actually is in hand at my local card shop. I'm going to go pick it up tomorrow. And I have an SGC sub that just popped on Saturday. So I'm going to be selling a bunch of that stuff over the next week. But that market is just completely different because I accidentally created it and helped set it up, and like it is going off because there's not a lot of supply of it.
Not yet.
Not yet is the keyword. I mean, dude, whenever Yamamoto,
I get my boxes in hand.
Yeah, Kai, welcome to the cult of that, by the way. The interesting thing too about Yamamoto is his first product is going to be what, Series 1? Like other than like him being in Bowman Chrome and like the insert for Team Japan and obviously NPB, which counts a little bit. Like he's not going to have product for a little bit, so there's an opportunity to get it and grade it and sell it, which is exciting. But other than that one spiel about MPB, the other move, if you are really patient, like willing to be, if you want to leave a little bit of money, stored away for a couple months here, is now quarterbacks. Remember how during this podcast, Kai, during the late summer, early fall, I kept on saying, hey, I'm going to go back in and buy football like week 12, week 13, week 14, whatever time period I was saying. It was like the teens. Shout out Josh Giddey, who I had to do it. It was just
a good one.
That was a good one. I laid that up to myself and slammed it down. Shout out Karl Malone. I don't know. The point is these football quarterbacks, except for Brock Purdy, it feels like everything is down. If you can buy at good margins now and you don't need that money until the spring, yeah, dude, like it's so interesting that our hobby is so easy to predict and the groupthink is so strong that is how you will make money most of the time. It's not making money during the hobby boom, and that's the one. I'm a one trick pony who doesn't know what he's talking about, and I actually do. I've probably forgotten more about sports cards than this person will ever know, which is super funny. I do also have a fiance, which is the end of his comment. I don't know how I did that. I tricked someone into loving me, which is really nice. He should try that, or she. I don't know. It's 2023. But I will keep it up. So thank you. And yeah, somehow work that comment into this discussion, but it is a valid point. We are so goddamn predictable in this industry that if you can remove yourself from that hype cycle and just understand when to buy and how to buy and take a little less profit, but sell into the group think, you will do better and you have a long-term success within sports cards.
Yeah. I think this might be the first kind of period in the last 5 years of that, is you have to, I think before there's always been some sort of way that you could kind of make money before, but now really it's kind of outsmarting people and being ahead of things compared to COVID. You could do whatever you wanted. You'd make money.
Correct.
Then the little period after that and before now, I mean, there was more room because people were getting out of it after COVID kind of, and there's just so much room on certain things. And now the margins are just so tight. You really have to either outsmart other people, find a player or something that's so under the radar, which is nearly impossible to do right now with just the way things are, or start a repack, grade. I mean, there's very few ways that you can really make money right now in cards.
I mean, yeah, if you were buying Josh Dobbs in the off season for $3 to $5 pop. Yeah, I mean, obviously there are many ways to outsmart or outthink the hobby. Generally, these are general statements because the person who was buying Josh Dobbs, who 1,000x their money, give or take, because they're probably literally $1 or $2 cards going into the season. And ironically enough, he is now the third string quarterback on the Vikings.
Yeah, they're going to be getting some returns now.
Well, Joku was wrong about that, which was super funny.
What did he say?
Joku said that I think they would a team would give him a $15 or $20 million a year contract.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I said that too, but he was saying
that too, honestly.
Joku was saying he was going to be really, really good, and I was like, hey, he deserves a chance to compete with someone, and he probably still does, but it's a little different now. The expectation is a lot lower. But the point still is that if you bought Josh Dobbs for $1, $1 in the offseason or into the early start of the season, yeah, you crushed it, percentage wise. Or you bought what's Jake Browning? That's his name, the Bengals quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, once again, obviously there are those who dollar box hunt, $5 box hunt, eBay auction hunt, who can find those random backup quarterbacks and really, truly crush it. But that is the exception to the rule. Although it is an interesting conversation because I don't know where I heard this. It might have been on the Pat McAfee show. It might be one of those just sports YouTubers I watch. The amount of quarterbacks who have started more than one game or have started at least one game in a season for NFL teams has gone up exponentially over the last 5 or 6 years. It was 40 something in 2017. Now it's 60 something in this year.
Well, I'm pretty sure this year there's been 50 quarterbacks or something that have thrown 50 passes or something this season.
That's even crazier.
Something like that.
the point is, and the numbers are obviously wrong because I'm remembering off, bad memory. The trend is more quarterbacks are getting hurt, or there's being more opportunities for backup QBs to play. That's almost an interesting move as well. I mean, you're going to miss on 18 of the 20 guys you bought theoretically, but once again, is that a move? It's a way to quote unquote outsmart the hobby. It's a way to be one step ahead. And you know what? It does sometimes work. It's just like another avenue to consider. And results may vary, obviously. But other than buying QBs that are really low these days because their production on the field is not good or they're hurt or both, and like Bowman Chrome hitters, yeah, I really could not even in strong faith tell people to buy basketball right now. Generally.
Well, the weird part about going back to the football is like this is such a weird season because you would think they have changed all these rules to not get quarterbacks hurt. And this is the most quarterbacks I've ever seen get hurt that are like predominantly good players. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the MVP favorites right now are Brock Purdy, Lamar, and then you can have a conversation about like CMC or Tyreek. I mean, Raheem Mostert would be funny because he has 20 touchdowns or maybe 21 touchdowns now. I'm not sure what he has. Something absurd. I mean, he's not obviously an MVP candidate, but like in Madden, he would be because Madden's broken.
Which is crazy.
If I was to introduce someone into sports cards now, I would be really cautious about it because there's just so much that goes into it. It's not hard. This is not a hard industry to learn. Like you can do very baseline things, buy this percentage, sell this percentage, but like to think intelligently about it and to give general advice, and to guide people, that's where it's a little concerning. And I think that's why repacks have thrived as much as they have in the last couple years.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, I can't feel confident either about giving any sort of like strategy or formula to someone new to start. I don't even know where I would tell them to start right now, honestly.
The only real way to guide someone now is be like, all right, like what team do you like? What are you a fan of? And then like build it from that. And even then, it's just like,
but that's like the tough part there is like that's almost just straight up collecting. Like if you tell them someone on their team that doesn't end up making them money, like that just gets discouraging.
Yeah, I know. Ugh. It's so tough. I mean, obviously you should be a collector first. Flipper, grinder, hashtag grinder. All these whatever words you want to describe buying and selling sports cards as. Obviously, the step first is being a collector if they choose to be. Dude, if you have money and you're just buying sports cards to flip, you don't need to hear from me. You at least are willing to spend or be fooled into buying certain things. You're not listening to this podcast. I imagine this target audience is once again like 18 to 34-year-old men who like would want to get a drink with us if you're over the legal age. If you're not over the legal age,
except for the guy who left the review.
Yeah, no. If you're not of legal age, I know of some pro athletes who might be your friend. So just throwing it out there.
So what have you been up to?
Dude, I don't know. I've accidentally truly created this fucking cult for NPB, and it's getting worse but better, and I'm not. This is getting ridiculous. I don't know what's happening anymore. What I am seeing though is my SGC order with Yamamoto paper is way more profitable than I thought it would be because one of our friends who bought MPB, who graded stuff as well, sold their paper 10 today for $95 for one. I have 55 in transit back to
Rich.
Not rich. Stupid. This is stupid. The fact this somehow is working is
do
stupid.
Some quick math. How many did you say you have?
55.
Okay.
When I did the calculations, Kai, on this, I thought I was going to get like $60. I literally was telling about this.
Selling them at $90 a piece after 13% eBay fees, you would net around $4,300.
This is so stupid. This is the dumbest industry ever. And that's not
That's
including the
just the
nine.
paper of one
That
guy.
that's just the paper. That doesn't include the 9.5s and the nines,
Yeah.
which is there's a handful of those. I expect to lose money on the nines, which is fine. The 9.5s are probably
I don't
20 to
know.
40 bucks. I
What
don't.
what do what do you think like the value of a paper raw is?
I think they go for like 15 bucks right now.
So 15 plus 9, 24. Like there's no
Yeah,
I don't think they sell for less than 25 bucks.
I think you're wrong. I think they'll go for like 10 to 15. But
Really?
once again, it doesn't matter because like there's very few paper nines. I expect the 9.5s to go for 30 to 40 bucks. I do have the only two pristine 10 papers. Um,
$10,000 right there.
yeah, for real. I don't know. If the normal one is 90 bucks, that one's probably 150 to 200 bucks, which is the cost of 4 boxes, which is just once
Did you
again.
send any paper to PSA or just Chrome?
When I first sent in my bulk order, I sent in Sasaki paper, Roki Sasaki. I did not send in any Yamamoto
Did
because
those
at the
pop
time,
already?
that first order did. The second order is at Santiago's sports shop. Please don't rob him or me, because I have to go grab those tomorrow. Actually, hey, this podcast will be out after I have those cards. So,
Oh,
haha,
you're safe.
bitches.
How did the paper do at PSA?
Um, tens and nines. I think one got like a 6. I mean. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just ripped that 1.5. I'm not sure. They were fine. I actually moved 12 Roki Sasaki papers yesterday at like 55 bucks each in trade.
That's tens, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that works.
I mean, hypothetically, like I don't know if it'll actually hold up where the market is, but like that would
No,
no. I was gonna say that should be more than Yamamoto in like a year or two, right?
the interesting thing, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with this MPB stuff,
It's
but
tough to like balance. That's definitely gonna get oversaturated compared to now, but he's also better. So it hypothetically, it's
I
kind
don't know if he's, once again, I think he's going to be better. That's my
of
opinion.
statistically he's better, right? I mean,
The issue with him is health. If he's able to stay healthy this year, if he throws like 120, 140 innings in the MPB next year, like that is probably the only concern left. It's just like his ability to hold up. Um, I don't know. Once again, it's a little tricky. They might still try to like. I really would be surprised if even in his first year, if he pitches 120 innings next year and he does get posted and leaves, I would be very surprised if his first year in the MLB in 2025, then in that instance at 24, he throws 150 innings or more. Like I think you would still want to like kind of gradually ramp this guy up if he's able to stay healthy because the potential is through the roof.
that'll be interesting. I mean, it's kind of cool because with and if you hit at the average rate, I guess it doesn't even have to be good, but you can make your money back, probably even profit at the beginning, and you have all the other stuff for whenever they get posted and whatnot.
This is the segment that says this is not sponsored.
No, we don't have to do it again, but it's just so interesting to me.
It is. And once again, I practice what I preach clearly because I'm zigging when other people are zagging, or I guess in this instance, I'm however that would be said.
Train.
Yeah, I'm the train conductor on the stupid path. I don't know, man. Like, listen, I learned about this through a friend in the summer. It clearly has been fun. I did not see this happening. And we might be doing this again next year if Sasaki gets posted because he won't have American products, obviously. He'll only be in Bowman Chrome for Team Japan in 2022 product then. He won't be in 2023, obviously.
Are they making I don't know if anyone relevant would be in it, but are they making like a 2023 NPB Bowman?
I know there's a Topps one. I'm not sure they made Topps Chrome yet. But once again, the reason why this has worked and this is so good to rip is because it's the first Bowman of the MPB. They had 2021 Topps Chrome, which was the first product that Americans obviously cared about. Roki Sasaki was in there, Yamamoto was in there, Seiya Suzuki was in there too, just for reference. I think Yoshida was in there too. Probably Kodai Senga, those guys. I guess they realized it was successful, and they did Bowman, and probably didn't sell super well until some stupid white kid in New Jersey said, "Oh wait, this is fun," and then he told this idiot to buy it, and then clearly I've created a problem. Um,
Let me
I go
let me
for it.
ask you something. So I'm sure you've looked at sales and stuff for all this stuff, but so
Yep,
today, obviously our friend sold the SGC for 95,
yep.
but also a PSA 10 sold for 180 today.
A paper?
A paper. So that my
Get the
question is,
fuck out of here!
I know. Okay, listen, my question is, you've already graded all these stuff, but do you think having to wait like a month or two, but the margins being that big right now, are worth sending them to PSA? Or do you think they'll get so saturated it'll go way lower than that?
I think it's both. The trick is the timing.
Yeah,
So because of the way the MPB posting system works, and I've learned a lot of this shit because I
you have
wanted
to.
to be informed, which I recommend. If you're gonna buy this, please be informed. Please just don't buy it. This person said to buy it, and I lost $100. Well, at least you lost 100, not 10,000. But be informed. Do research. Just be a person. Learn. Think critically. Don't listen to me. I'm stupid. I'm very hysterical, obviously, according to comments. What was I gonna say? The reason why I've been subbing with SGC, at least on the paper Yamamoto stuff, I sent in 75, was because it was 5 to 10 business days, and they had the promo running. So SGC does a Bowman promo every year, or at least the last couple of years they have. And that is the only time I agree with SGC. $9 a pop, 5 to 10 business days. My order was sent to them 12/1. They got it 12/8, and it sent back to me 12/18. Like, that is such incredible
Yeah.
timing that it was stupid not to consider it. I would be worried now if I sent in another PSA sub, which I might do, with paper of Yamamoto, that by the time I got back, we'd be in like March or April. And like, yeah, it would probably still sell, but like if it's not competing with Series 1 or whatever first product would even feature him, then I'm like, all right, well, there's some market here, but it's not catching the hype.
Do you know
And
when the SGC thing ends? Or does it never end?
January 5th, I
Oof,
believe
I
it
gotta open my
ends.
boxes fast.
Yeah. I would recommend prepping and getting that accordingly. Well, you're in Florida too, so like I
Yeah.
think as long as you pay the invoice, like they're not gonna like really screw you around on that. But yeah, I mean, not sponsored by SGC. I don't use SGC for anything else other than this. I can pull up my SGC orders if you want. I have 3 now, one from last year, one of these Yamamoto papers, and one I sent in today. Actually, I sent in like 216 cards, all NPB wise. Like, dude, I'm an open book. Like, you can look at my eBay history, you can look at whatever. You can buy purchases. It's mostly card supplies and game worn jerseys on eBay, and uh, whatever I just said for SGC. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, go for it. I'm the worst influencer ever because I'm not trying to be. Uh, but it's really funny how this is turning out. And this is the dumbest timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so interesting because people keep reaching out. And it's just like, all right, well, shit. Join the club. We meet on Thursdays. Don't drink the punch. I keep saying
What is that? Have you been interested in anything just normal sports lately, or not really?
not really, because like there were no major shows going on. I was actually at a local 40 table show here in New Jersey this past weekend. And I moved goods. I probably moved like $7,500 worth of stuff selling and trading, which is like a pretty good 2-day experience for a local show. Hashtag flexing, obviously. With no major shows for a month, like I've taken my foot off the gas, dude. I'm just chilling. Like, it's nice to be like a human being and like not be super stressed or worried about things. Like, it's nice to be at home, comfortable playing video games, like hang out with my fiance and like just like existing and not worried about every single grinding deal, and just like knowing that a month from now I'll be sitting in the Dallas card show or at trade night at like 1 a.m. being like, man, I'm tired. I wish I was home.
What do you think the Giants are gonna do?
Oh, I don't know if I
Saquon.
said this on the podcast yet or not. What I think is going to happen to the Giants is they're going to go like 7-10, 8-9. DeVito's going to look capable, although yesterday against the Saints he was
He also
bad.
got like murdered.
Yeah, he might have. He was either concussed or like he was play concussed because he like fell and then like acted like he wasn't, and then they took him out for a little bit. But I guess he cleared concussion testing. Point is, Giants are going to go and be unable to draft like a top QB. They're going to probably finish like a 10th or 12th pick. They apparently do want to add a quarterback no matter what in the draft, so they're going to draft a guy in like the second or third round. And then I can 100% see in an open QB competition, DeVito being out Daniel Jones. In a true, honest to God competition, like you can convince me that there's a world where DeVito is running onto the field week 1 and Jones is the backup.
You don't
Unless
think
like
you don't think they get anyone else?
I think they draft a QB, but like I think in that instance, in my hypothetical, if he's like a 3rd round pick, he'll be the 3rd stringer. If
Do
they somehow
you think there's like an out on Daniel Jones to get him like cut, or is you just
next year,
there is?
they're not this NFL season or like the following year. In 2025, there's an out, I believe.
And then
So there,
Saquon's probably
Saquon was I believe he was a
1 year.
I think it was a franchise tag. Yeah,
I know
don't
it's like a
believe it's
1 year or
NFL.
something. I just figured he's probably gone, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna check actually. I don't believe they signed him to a long term contract.
The the running back market's kind of in the dumpster. Besides McCaffrey, I mean, like all these good teams have random dudes scoring 20 touchdowns.
So yes, to confirm, Saquon will be a free agent at the end of this year. I will double check on Daniel Jones. I believe I'm right on that, but I could be wrong. But that's how I understood the contract when I read it. Potential out in 2025. Okay, yeah. It would be a $22 million cap, it looks like, for dead cap. But yeah, it's unfortunately like Daniel Jones was just not the guy, and you know what? I have such terrible takes according to people, but I completely freaking nailed save that. I completely nailed Daniel Jones being bad and being unhappy as a Giants
It is
fan.
insane how expensive his cards were. When you're looking back at what some of the stuff we sold, some of the stuff that other people sold, it's just ludicrous that some of his stuff is worth that. Looking back on it, I mean, same with like Ritter and Pickett and all them, but Daniel Jones especially just seemed crazy to me.
He's just not a good quarterback. I mean, Kenny Pickett is not really either. How's Desmond Ritter been playing? Like, I obviously don't follow the Falcons super duper close. Okay, so he's
probably played his last game.
Is he going to get benched for Heineke again?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to think about these last couple of years of quarterbacks. Bryce Young is looking terrible. I mean, there's no cards really that people want of him right now.
Even Stroud, he's been hurt. He's been okay recently, not insane or anything.
I mean, that's fine though.
Yeah.
Stroud has already shown enough that like if he had cards out there, they'd be really overpriced because if he had a lot of cards, I should say. Obviously, he has some autos and like Mosaic or whatever else. Stroud has shown enough already where like, yeah, he has that it factor. Like 3 weeks ago, he was an MVP candidate. Now he's struggling because guess what? Teams are learning and how he adapts and how he learns going into next year will be important. And you know, what an offseason of being in a strength and conditioning program or coaching or the other good stuff. Like, oh, hey, now you can see all the film and all the mistakes and errors and growth that you did. And like, oh, that's how QBs get better. Bryce Young, I'm already worried about. I do not like Bryce Young at all.
You know, I think Anthony Richardson could be super interesting if he ends up having cards. I mean, they're really good. Not really. So, they're solid. I mean,
Richardson will have NTRPAs. I honestly, dude, that would be if he had product out that was like good already, and like I'm talking good as in like Optic and Prism and NT and Immaculate. Yeah. I would be buying those and selling them at the National or right before the National because I know people are gullible and they'll pay very strongly for that.
Totally agree.
That might be one of the moves, honestly, because I can see him probably being the QB that moves the most, assuming the product launches are aligning with my thoughts at that time.
I think NT comes out right. At least last year came out right around the national, so it should.
So if the NC's out there before then, perfect. If not, Immaculate or Prism.
It should be like Immaculate Contenders, Prism.
Yeah, not the best product at the time, like at the national. Like I want like the second or third best one because like that margin and profitability would.
Yeah, you don't want to buy the $15,000 NT of Anthony Richardson. I get it.
Yeah, because if you don't move that card, you're freaking broke, dude. You own that card. He's running on the field week 1. You were like, I just
breaks
lost
his collarbone again or whatever.
Yeah. Oof. Levis is interesting. I think Levis might have this. Levis might have the if factor too.
He's not bad. He's not insane. He's kind of like there. He's kind of like Bryce Young.
I think that if they had cards, he would be the second best selling QB.
I agree right now. I think
even if Richardson did not get hurt, I think he would have the second best potential.
I don't know. Because he has that like Josh Allen build and hype.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's
no,
why
I'm talking about Anthony.
Oh, okay.
But Levis, yeah. I mean, right now he would for sure be the second most. 100%.
Well, yeah, because Richardson's hurt. That's not fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're in a weird spot QB wise where, dude, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, this is almost bargain bin hunting if you really want to. If you truly believe, for instance, like Justin Herbert is one good coach away from being the guy, his NTRPAs are under 15 grand. So I know you made a joke about Anthony Richardson being 15 grand, which it could very well be at launch because people are stupid for a true RPA. But the last Herbert NTRPA that I'm aware of that sold was a PSA 9, I believe 3 color. It did 15, and that probably is worth like 10 to 12 right now in an open market, honestly.
It's just tough with him, though. Like, they're going to move on from multiple of their really good players just for cap reasons. Yep. And 2 of those are his receivers. I mean, I don't
know. I believe Mike Williams is now going to be a free agent. I don't think Keenan Allen is.
No, I think they paid Mike Williams, but their cap hits are crazy. They're like $30 million. They paid Mike Williams like 4 years, $80 million a couple years ago.
Okay. Oh, so hang on. All right. So
their cap hits are just crazy that they're gonna have to get rid of one of them.
So we're both kind of right. So it looks like for Mike Williams, there is potential out after this year. His contract for next year, if they decide to keep him, is for $17 million. So they're gonna cut him. They're not gonna keep him. Especially off a torn ACL. Like, yeah, he's gone. I don't know if Keenan Allen got paid.
And they have no coach. I mean, they're going to get a new coach. It's just a weird situation they have the best quarterback of any team that doesn't have a coach.
Oh. Keenan Allen has an out in 2024.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to get rid of at least one of them.
$18 million to Keenan Allen, 17 to Mike Williams. Ooh, that's tough. I did not realize that.
And their next receiver is Quentin Johnston, who's so not good right now.
No, I mean, obviously you hope and expect your guys to be better. I mean, you got to give him another chance, unfortunately.
Eckler, did Eckler get paid or is he a free agent?
Eckler's not good anymore. Like,
he's not good.
He's slowed down a lot.
They don't have anyone else.
Who are the best free agent wide receivers going to be?
All their defensive players, too, are crazy high cap hits. Half of them are going to be gone, too.
I wanted to see who the free agents are.
Mike Evans is a free agent.
Okay, so thank you. I have the list open. The best wide receivers on this list I have open on Spot Rock. I don't know how to say it.
It's like Spot Track or something. Yeah.
Spot Track. Okay, thank you. Mike Evans, who I doubt is going to leave Tampa Bay. Odell, oof. Curtis Samuel, Tyler Boyd, Cedric Wilson, Kendrick Bourne, DJ Chark, Jamal Agnew, and Paris Campbell.
It's disgusting. I know, like, T. Higgins is probably going to get traded.
T. Higgins is unrestricted free agent, actually. Why is this? What? Why is this market? This was not organized in the correct way. This was by...
Oh, he's a free agent?
No, this is by 2023 annual value. This was not the best players. That's not helpful. Thanks. Looks like T. Higgins will be on there. Gabe Davis. I organize it better. Gabe Davis, T. Higgins... Chase Claypool, oof. Daryl Mooney could be a free agent, possibly. That's interesting. Hollywood Brown. Yeah, I imagine some of these guys will be franchise tagged if they don't sign extensions, but it's not that good. It's
Yeah.
I don't know. That's tough. If you want Burrow in that instance too, I mean, Burrow had a weird year, dude.
Well, it's tough because like I don't know what you make of this, but like his backup's been really good with the same team. I mean, I don't know if you take that as the backup's really good, Burrow was meh, or the team's really. I don't know how you take that, but the backup almost played better than him. So
I mean, without knowing Browning's contract or what he's due, assuming you have him under contract for a year or two, and you're the Bengals, you can absolutely trade him for probably a third round pick and like a fifth. Because Browning right now, assuming you have him on a
he's
contract
a
that's
free
controllable,
agent.
he's a free agent. All right, so it doesn't matter then. Then he's gonna get paid pretty well. Assuming he stays healthy and like does
What
continue to play.
timing for him? Jeez, on a free
Yeah.
on a contract here.
I mean, then he's gonna get paid somewhere and be. I think the
Brock
expectation.
Osweiler.
I think maybe actually. I think the expectation for him now is what we were talking about on Soul Too Late with,
Joku.
Well, I was talking about Josh Dobbs. It took me a second to think of his name.
Oh.
Where he'll get paid $15-ish million to compete for a starting role, like, and that's if he continues to play at this level, he's absolutely earned that right. Same thing I said with Joshua Dobbs. It's very interesting because Browning right now would be a better starter than like Desmond Ridder, would be a better starter than whoever the Jets are going to start, who's not Aaron Rodgers, obviously, in the hypothetical. He'd be a better starter than Tommy DeVito. He'd be a better starter than would he be a better starter than Sam Howell?
No.
No?
I mean, I don't know about. I mean, I'd rather have Sam Howell. I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. The point is though, is that like if Browning is a free agent, he's young enough and he's put some good tape out there. Like where does he fall in that hierarchy?
It's gonna be weird because there's so many teams that need like a quarterback that I don't know. Like some teams might go draft, some teams might try to sign people. It's gonna be weird.
Oh, I forgot the Patriots, so he'd be better than Mac Jones or
Patriots, yeah. I mean, Bears. Did you say the Bears?
I didn't say the Bears.
I don't know if he'd be better, but he'd be an option.
I mean, I think one of my hot takes going into this year were Kyler, Justin Fields, and Daniel Jones. One of those guys is going to be a starter next year. That take is probably going to age pretty well.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I think Fields, they're in a tough spot. He's been playing not too bad.
No, he's not the reason they're losing.
Yeah.
It's not him.
It's a weird one.
He's not the reason why they're winning, but, you know.
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah.
Fields is the best case for next year is competing for a starting role with whoever they would bring in. At the worst case, they draft someone and like he's a backup. I don't know. Fields is the most athletically gifted player on the field most of the time, but he can't make every throw. He can't make most of the throws, which is what I was saying about him going into the season. I was right.
Have you seen those funny things like they're like Fields has got to hit him here, and it's just like him throwing it's Robert Tonyan like right in his hands. He drops it.
I mean that's the Bears not set him up for success. Obviously, I mean.
Yeah.
DJ Moore is good. DJ Moore, actually, you know what? They did try with Moore, and Daryl Mooney's pretty capable. Cole Kmet. Actually, you know, the Bears have not done as bad as I was going to say in getting weapons around him.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not number one pick. I mean, I don't know what they do, but I don't even know what I would do if I was them. But it's a tough one.
Trade back, honestly. If they don't take a QB, if they are,
yeah, but you can get Marvin Harrison.
I think
I don't think you get him if you move behind like 3 or 4.
Well, maybe hang on. What's the draft order right now?
It's like Bears, Cardinals, right, I think.
So according to Tankathon, it
Bears
is
is done.
Bears, Patriots, Arizona, Washington.
And
Top
then
four.
Bears again.
Bears have 5. Giants
Yeah.
currently have 7 for reference. So assuming these hold up, which obviously they're not going, they might not hold up. If you were the Bears right now at 1, does someone try and trade up and draft their QB of the future? And then can you then convince New England or Arizona to trade with you and then draft Marvin Harrison Jr.?
I mean, you'd probably have to move back to 2. I don't think you take the chance going to 3.
Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. The Bears are right now in phenomenal goddamn spot. I know they're
It's
QB
phenomenal,
play.
but it's hard. I mean, like you have to. I don't know how you pick what you do.
Scouting and just whatever your thoughts telling you to do, the exact opposite. Just because clearly it's not working, just do the exact opposite
Yeah,
of
I
what you're
guess the
saying.
thing would be like, do you want to pay? You're gonna have to pay Fields if you keep him in a year. So I think I'd rather probably just roll the dice and draft someone and trade him.
I mean, then you draft a QB at 1. Do you try and move up to 3 or 4 to guarantee yourself Marvin Harrison Jr., assuming there's no other trades?
Yeah, because you'd get at least a decent little haul from going back to 2, and then you could package whatever that is with 5.
Oh, no, what I was saying was assuming they draft a QB at 1
Yeah,
and assuming there's no trades at 2 or 3, do you then you try and move up? Actually, no, let me rephrase it. If they draft a QB, do they try and trade up and then get Marvin Harrison Jr.? Which I think you have to.
probably. I'm guessing that who did you say was 2? The Patriots,
Patriots.
and then 3 is the Cardinals.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing the Patriots are going to take a quarterback. I'm guessing they'll take Drake May or whatever.
Yeah, whoever does get taken at 1, I think they
And then
take.
Cardinals. I mean, if the Cardinals keep Kyler, they're probably going to draft Marvin.
That's the interesting thing is I really thought and still kind of believe the Cardinals would move on from Kyler Murray. But the fact they brought him back this year is
I don't
interesting.
think they are. Yeah, I think they.
Yeah, they're in a weird spot where
That's what I'm saying though. Like if you get to 3 and the Cardinals keep Kyler, you can't. They're not going to trade the pick. I mean, they're going to want Marvin. So I think you almost have to move up to 2 again. Or if the Cardinals move up to 1, I get there. You can't move that far back if you want to get him.
no, and if Washington keeps number 4, they're drafting Marvin Harrison Jr. if he's there.
Yeah, probably, or like a tackle maybe.
Yeah,
something like that. I could see. I mean, I don't. This could be crazy. I could see them taking a quarterback.
dude, card collectors will lose their goddamn minds.
That's what I'm saying. Going into this, like
the Nationals, the Commanders. Sorry.
Like Love, Howell, like even though people who've been decent, but like they have no guarantee to be the quarterback next year. Like, what's stopping the Packers from drafting someone else? Like Love's been solid, not like earth shattering. Howell's been solid, not earth shattering. Like Howell was a 3rd round pick or 4th round pick, maybe. They don't have any sort of tie to make him the quarterback. And then Love, I think they gave him a contract where they can kind of get out of it next year or the year after or something like that. So,
well, here's the current top 10 and like my thoughts if they draft a QB. Bears could absolutely draft a QB. Patriots are going to draft a QB. Cardinals probably could. Washington, I don't think so, but like you and I can disagree. Bears just talked about the Jets. I think will draft a QB this year because like
I think they take like a flyer one though. I don't think they take one in the 1st round.
No, I'm not saying a number 6. I'm just saying I think they could take a QB. Giants will take a QB in my opinion. I think they have to. Maybe not at 7, but like they will take one. Chargers will not. Titans will not. Falcons probably will.
I think we take one with our 1st pick.
Like, so of those 10 teams, or of those 9 teams, I should say, 6 of them will take a QB most likely. Like,
yeah, at
some point in the draft, even if it's a 3rd, 4th, 5th round pick, like most of those teams will take a QB, if not all of them, which would be funny. If this order holds up as of week 15, we are in for a very interesting draft season and a lot of mock drafts, which I'm going to ignore until like the week before, but then I like really like dive in and like pay attention.
Yeah, it's gonna be a weird one. There's so many quarterbacks that like are just complete like shots in the dark this year. Like Penix, no one knows if he's going to be good. He's been hurt a lot. He was really good this season. I mean, he's kind of like Tua, not to racially stereotype a lefty quarterback, but I mean, he's really good. There's him. I mean, FSU had Jordan Travis. Who?
The guy from LSU.
Yeah, he's going to be a top 10 pick, I think. I want the Falcons to take him.
Do you think there's a world where 4 QBs go in the top 10?
Who's the fourth?
So Caleb, Drake, Penix, and the LSU guy.
I don't think Penix goes that high. I think Penix is like one of the 25 to 30, whatever, when they trade back in. I think he's one of those.
But here's the issue with this again. This happens every draft cycle, so we'll have to look back on this tape and see. Every year, there's just one guy who seems to climb up the draft board and is like overreach and like taking
Jaden Daniels.
So you think it's Jaden Daniels who will be the one who's like
I could see him being the first pick.
That's pretty spicy.
I mean, I don't think he should be. He's gonna be the best quarterback at the combine, like running all that stuff. He won the Heisman. He put up crazy stats. I think Caleb will go first, but I could see Jaden Daniels going like 2 or 3 or 4.
So it's probably like a 1-2 QB thing.
I think it might be like a 1-2-3. Honestly,
that's spicy. And we'll have obviously more conversations.
I would almost guarantee that all 3 will be in the top 5.
Well, that's the thing again, is like, as I was saying, like some QB is always overdrafted because of tape, not tape, but like the NFL Combine, intangibles, hype cycle. Like we all fall victim to it. And like the guy who was like great as like a 2nd round pick then moves into the late first. Oh wait, now he's in the teens, and then someone overdrafts him. It always just seems to happen. So we have a very interesting cycle ahead of us. And I like how we have this entire podcast. We did not talk about basketball at all because basketball I don't really care about until around Christmas time. So now I'll start to pay more attention and we can have more intelligent conversations. Although I have noticed that the Pistons keep losing. I'm
so nervous. We played the Pistons tonight. We've been sucking. I'm nervous. We're going to be the team.
Whoever loses to that team should be relegated.
It's going to be us.
2-24. That's really impressive.
They won I think they're going to win like less than 10 games this year, like in 2023.
At what point do you like consider trading Cade then? Like, do you just do it now and just like rip off the Band-Aid and say,
you can't trade him though. Like,
what are you going to do with him?
You're just going to win 1 game if you trade him. Like,
you won 2.
So you pretty much have the number 1 pick right now. Like, I don't think you could make the team much worse.
Well, with the lottery, you're not guaranteed that.
That's true. So why would you trade him?
Because clearly this is not working with them anyway. So you might as well try.
He's like their only hope. Like him and the Thompson twin, Ivy. I don't know what's going on with him. Like I don't.
Kai, this team is 2-24. There's no one who's untouchable on that roster.
Wildly enough, they don't have that bad of a roster.
They're 2-24. Clearly,
I know that's why it's weird. They're not that bad. Like they're not good. Obviously, they're not a playoff team, but their roster is like not. There's got to be something going on. Like.
They're bad.
The thing is, like, what do you even get out of Cade? Like picks? Like they're not helping. Clearly, like you can't draft. So I mean,
I don't know. That's a good. Different conversation, but like I think at some point you have to explore that possibility, whether it's this year, the off season, whatever. Like clearly, it's not working. Freaking try something.
Monty Williams too, right? I think he's their coach.
I'll check right now. I'm not sure who the Pistons.
He's actually a good coach. It's just all weird. I don't know. We're so going to lose to them tonight. I would almost guarantee we lose.
So bad. Bet on Detroit. That's the trick, Kai. Is you just keep on betting on Detroit.
If you bet like a unit for 5 games in a row, starting now, I think you would make money. They're gonna win one of these games,
or they're not.
No, they're gonna win. There's just no way they keep losing.
Did I send this to you? It was the Pistons, the Spurs, and like the Wizards are like a combined 3-60 in like their last something amount of games played, and like one of those was against the other team. It was like something absurd like that. I don't know if I sent that to you.
I don't remember. I don't think so though. But, yeah.
Maybe I thought about sending it to you because I was gonna make a culture collision joke there. Tying back into previous podcasts. Yeah, we're This is bad. This is bad all around. I don't know. I got nothing really else to add here, Kai. Anything else you want to talk through before we wrap it up?
No, I just hope Arthur Smith gets fired at some point soon-ish.
Listen, if you want the cheat code to that, just get embarrassed by like the Bucks or the. If you lose to the Panthers by 40, I think he'll get fired.
We lost to them yesterday.
Well, get fired again. Get fired then.
We don't even play them again, so we don't play either of them again.
All right, go lose to the Bucks by like 60.
We don't even play them again. We already lost to them.
All right, you know what? I got nothing else for you.
We play the Bears and the Jets. Those are two good opportunities.
Yeah, go lose to Trevor Siemian or Zach Wilson getting benched for the 4th time this year or something. I don't know.
I hope so.
Yeah, that's how you get him fired. All right. Thank you guys for watching and listening. I guess next time we talk to you, oh my God, it's going to be like Christmas time. Jeez. All right. Well, bye. Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas if we celebrate. Happy holidays otherwise. And if you don't,
happy Hanukkah from Dave.
Yeah. Happy Kwanzaa from Kai. And bye.